Central Kentucky's gospel radio station, 770 AM. My special guest in studio, Crystal Collins from Eastern Kentucky over in the Floyd County area. And she's made a trip over here to Lexington and campaigned together for an upcoming recording company, Crystal and Music. And first of all, I want to say welcome to Lexington.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you here. And before we talk a little bit about what your plans are here in the near future, tell us a little about yourself and how you got interested in gospel music.
Well, like you said, my name's Crystal Collins, and I'm from Betsy Lane, Kentucky. I've been singing since I was 9 years old and had my own solo ministry for quite a while, recorded with Eddie Crook in Nashville, and just traveled and did the solo thing for quite a few years, and got hooked back up with Eddie somewhere down the road, and me and him came up with a good idea.
And that is?
That is to launch my own company, my own label, Crystal Music, and a promotions company as well for our artists.
And this will be based out of Eastern Kentucky?
It is out of Eastern Kentucky, but the recording for the projects will be done in Nashville, and Eddie Crook will produce those.
When did you get hooked up with the Crook Company to begin with? What year was that?
That was actually 2006.
All right.
What happened there is I had recorded one project, like a little local studio, I guess, a generic type studio. Project was well done. Got curious, what could I do now? You know, first starting out, we really don't know what to do, which is one reason I have my own label, because I want to help other artists and show them what to do. Hooked up with the Harper Agency in Nashville, and they led me to Eddie Crook. I've always been in gospel music in some form or another, whether it was promoting a concert, helping fellow singers get their name out there, and you know, like I said, just booking revivals. Actually got into doing some of that, promoting some of that. So I have some background in this already and know how it works.
All right, tell me a little bit about your first recording.
First recording was actually done at Franklin Studios over in Salyersville, Kentucky, which is even much more east. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'll never forget just taking lyrics and just making them come to life, putting music together, and it's yours. It is your project. It's your own product, and you're just proud once you put that first project out there. Now that I know a lot more about radio, I'm going to be able to help my artists to understand what they can accomplish and achieve nationwide.
Crystal Collins, my guest here at 770 AM, talking about the ministry and the upcoming Crystal Music. Now, what's the actual title going to be?
It's Crystal Music is the label.
That's the label.
But it's Crystal Music and Promotions Nashville. It's promotions because I'm offering radio promotions to other artists. To artists who not only sign with my label, who will go down and record in Nashville their own project, but also looking at taking on other artists from other labels and promoting them as well.
All right, if I'm an artist and I'm with somebody already or thinking about it, what would stand out? Why would I want to come to Crystal Music?
Well, you would want to come to Crystal Music because it's fresh and it is new, and we are just real people wanting to help real people. Honesty is the best quality in the industry. Sorry to say, it's hard to come by sometimes. I'm just real with people. I will not promise you that your single will hit the top 80. I make no promises. You'll go on a compilation. I won't send out more than 10 artists at a time.
Let's talk a bit about this compilation that's due out the first of the year. You're looking at how many artists on this first premiere event?
Well, it's looking like 6 to 7.
Okay.
The release, the compilation, was actually due to go out January, but I have 2 signed artists who are finishing up projects, and you know, they won't be ready, and they are my artists on my label, so I want to kind of push that back to February so they would have an opportunity to get their singles on there and get it sent out.
Now, Crystal, how do you decide on a radio solo or song radio release? Is that something you and the artist will sit down to discuss? If an artist puts 10 songs on their own CD, and you say, okay, we're going to send somebody to radio, we need one song, how's that going to be determined?
Well, I would like for the artists to get the feel of what in their heart and in their spirit what they think would be good to send to radio, but I would like to listen to it and make sure that it's good radio quality, that it's for today. And I think even Eddie's going to come in there a little bit, and he's going to also help decide, because he's been in the industry for almost 40 years. I don't want to tell his age, but he's been in there for a long time, and we'll just sit and work together and decide the right song for the right group to go out to radio for that time.
Do you feel you have a feel for radio, for today's gospel radio stations, what it needs to continue getting the good news out in this time of year?
I think so. Some Southern gospel music has now got a modernized flair. Still awesome 4-part harmony. We need that in Southern gospel music because that's what it's based on. I think that together with the artist, we'll be able to pick out the song that appeals to radio today. So,
all right, now let's let our listeners know a little bit about a email. They can contact you, website, Facebook page, phone numbers, any information that you can give to our listeners to be informed. They contact you for maybe future projects or find out a little bit more about this new promotion, Crystal Music.
Yes, if you're out there and you're listening and it's been a couple years maybe since you've had a project and you need a new project, Crystal Music would love to be able to help you with that. My phone number is 606-478-7302. That's the best phone number you can reach me at. It's my office number. Or also, I think most of the world has a Facebook page now. That would be Crystal Music and Promotions Nashville. Or you can friend me at Crystal Collins Ripkoski. I may have to spell that for you folks. Ripkoski. You can also reach me there. Or if you do not need a new project right now and you're just leaning more toward wanting to send a single out to nationwide radio, you can do that as well. Give me a contact. And as far as the price for a project, it's really unbelievable and unbeatable for Nashville area.
So not only are you producing music, in a sense, getting that music out on a compilation, but if as an independent artist out there who would like to maybe put something for radio, then your connection with radio stations, you'll promote that as well.
That's right, just as well. I'm really concentrating, though, on the label. Like I said, Eddie Crook will produce for you at the Trinity Music City Studios in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Wonderful, wonderful studio. Top-notch Pro 9 tools. Everything you would need to get that wonderful Nashville sound. Only Nashville studio musicians, and Eddie would be playing piano on your project.
Crystal's making the radio rounds, and one of those rounds are here in Lexington at 7:70 a.m., checking the bluegrass country out, and she heads back later today to the Eastern Kentucky. You've always been a mountain girl?
Always. Grown up in the mountains, grown up in the hills. Was a little bit worried about my accent, but I find that a whole lot of people enjoy it, so I think I'll just stick with it.
You got to be yourself.
Have to be yourself.
Crystal Collins, always a pleasure talking to you this afternoon. Good luck in your latest project. When that arrives, we will put that on the air, and we'll get back with you after the project is sent to the radio stations and go from there. How's that?
That sounds great. I would like to go ahead, though, and just tell you a couple of the groups who you can expect.
Okay.
Called Out Quartet, actually from Nashville, Tennessee. They will be on the compilation, as well as the Glory Way Quartet from Mansfield, Ohio. The Eastridge Boys, a wonderful trio from Pikeville, Kentucky. They'll be on there, as well as Crossfire from right here in Lexington, Kentucky, and a soloist by the name of Tamara Frazier. She will be on there as well. But I appreciate you having me today. Wonderful drive down. Rain wasn't so bad. But I look forward to that compilation going out in February, and we'll make sure we get a copy of that in your hands, and hopefully we'll be hearing a whole lot of it on the air.
Very well. Thanks for being a part of it. Crystal Collins, my guest here on Central Kentucky's Gospel Music Station, 770 AM.